According to the Center for Disease Control, motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death for teenagers in the United States. Welcome to our Boca Raton car accident and injury Google Hangout. My name is Rene. I'm here with Joe Osborne, a leading South Florida car accident lawyer. Today we're going to be talking about an important subject for all Florida families with teenage or young adult drivers and how their behavior can impact or change the lives of their entire family. Hey Joe, how's it going in South Florida?
Great. Good morning, Renee, and thanks for having me today.
Yeah. I'm up here in Montreal, so we're doing an international hangout today. Joe, for teenagers, the day they finally get their driver's license is one of the most exciting days of their lives. However, with this newfound freedom and independence comes great responsibility that is too often neglected, or quite often the teenagers are completely aware of, the consequences. So maybe you can tell us, what greater responsibility is all about.
Sure. It is an exciting day for teenagers when they get their driver's license, but an important thing to understand is that, especially in Florida, we live in a vicarious liability state where a car is recognized as being a dangerous instrument. So under the doctrine of dangerous instrumentality, if a teenager, while driving his car, is negligent and injures somebody, the owner of that vehicle is also potentially negligent and can be brought into a lawsuit if a claim is made. So specifically, if a father or mother buys a car for a teenager and the owner documents are in the name of the parent becomes just as liable as the teenager when someone is injured in a car crash.
How can a family insulate or limit themselves from vicarious liability?
It's important that when the vehicle is purchased, if it is bought in the name of the parent, and that typically needs to occur, especially if a car is bought from a dealership, that after the purchase, that the ownership documents or the title is changed such that the child's name or the teenager's name is then changed so that their name is now on the ownership documents or title as being the owner as opposed to the parent.
Okay, well that sounds like a simple fix, and in a state like Florida where there's limited public transport, I think you can't get anywhere without either owning a car or leasing a car. So I think that's pretty good advice.
Yeah, it's a very easy fix actually. You can go down to the DMV. Typically, you can schedule an appointment. It can be done within 30 minutes, and you can really buy peace of mind because under the doctrine of vicarious liability, if your teenager does injure somebody in an accident, your assets become in play in terms of compensating the injured victim. So if unfortunately someone is seriously injured, all the hard work that you've put in for your entire life and your savings can become at risk if the injury, unfortunately, is one that certainly can approach the value for which that savings can be considered into the case.
Have you handled any cases where vicarious liability left the parents or a teenager or student at risk for major damages?
Just recently had one. We had a case where a father called me really in panic because his son was driving on a Friday night, doing everything he was supposed to be doing, but went to make a left turn and had a fender bender with a motorcycle. The teenager got out of the car, didn't think much of it because he didn't think the impact was very big. But unfortunately, on that motorcycle, there was a female who was riding on the back of the motorcycle, and the impact amputated her foot, which ultimately led to her being transferred to the hospital, and she ended up having her entire leg amputated. The driver of the motorcycle, along with the female, brought a case against the driver of the car, which in this case was the teenager, but because the father had left the car in his name, he put himself square into the middle of the lawsuit under the doctrine of vicarious liability, and obviously in a case like that was very, very concerned that everything he had worked for his whole life was now at risk.
Well, I'm all ears. I have three teenagers myself, and they're all about to embark upon this journey of driving in South Florida. If you have a case in South Florida related to a car accident or any other accident or injury, please call Joe Osborne at 561-800-4011, or you can always visit the firm at www.oa-lawfirm.com. Joe, it was great to hear you today, educating the audience and educating me, because it's important for me. And, it's always a pleasure, hearing your knowledge about the law.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I want to thank everyone for participating today. I invite everyone and our audience to come back and hang out next time when we'll be discussing a new and important topic. That's all for now, and goodbye.